Um, well, tomorrow, comes at a good time. We have our week here to, sort of regroup physically is the most important thing here in February. Try to get as healthy and, mentally fresh as you possibly can. You try to improve on some things you're really struggling on. And then, you're preparing for Purdue. And, Purdue's coming off the most impressive performance, I think, that any Big Ten team has had all season with their game against Iowa. The 19 threes that they made, and just in general, how hard they played on the glass and defensively against a really good Iowa team. So it was a really, really impressive game, and them being able to get one on the road at Northwestern, how hard it is to get one in general. So they got to be feeling pretty good. They're playing well defensively. They're as good as it gets in the country. And offensive rebounding wise, right now, they're the best in the league. So they're doing a great job. And I think that Travion Williams, has really established himself as one of the premier bigs in our league, just in terms of being able to operate. And they got a slew of other guys that are contributing in a lot of different ways at different times. But to me, they're playing pretty good basketball right now. And, they're a team down the back stretch that could be really dangerous in terms of being able to win a lot of games here down the back row. They're really, to me, traditional, typical, Purdue team that's playing tough together. And, obviously for us on Saturday, we've got to get ourselves, playing tough and together as well. So it should be an opportunity in the league. It means a lot in terms of the standings, but just in general, both teams have a lot to play for here down the stretch with their own resumes and trying to build towards the tournament. And, to me, every game from this point forward, regardless whether it's Purdue at home or, you play Iowa at home, it doesn't really matter. There's so much on the line for every team in the league in terms of trying to finish this climb that's been very difficult to navigate. So, but it's that time of year. And, for our guys, we really got to step up to the plate and be ready to go against a good team.
Okay, open up for questions back there.
Coach, can you just talk a little bit about how good it's been to have a couple extra days just to kind of get fresh legs and reset maybe a little bit?
It is. I mean, I think every coach is looking for an opportunity to practice a little bit more. Every coach is looking for an opportunity to probably take some time and talk to your guys and just, you get out of that rhythm of the pressure of preparing and playing. Sometimes you're winning, sometimes you're not. But as a player, you want to play. As a player, you want the games. As a coach, you want time. Sometimes it's too much, but it's very, very important. I think at some point in time during the year to recover physically. These guys get beat up. The road swings are hard. We were on a really tough swing, coming off about 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So it came at a good time. It doesn't mean you're gonna play well. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have guys, whatever. But I just think from a physical standpoint of being able to recover a little bit, give Race Thompson a few more days to try and get his leg. You need as much, many weapons as you can on game day. This week came at a good time for us because I think we were battling some things with illness. We were battling some of the flu stuff, and we're battling, Race being out, Jerome's sick, Joey's sick. So it just came at a decent time for us to find a way to kind of get our guys back together on the practice floor for the first time, in a week or so. And just, it's good to have your guys back out there.
Question about Jerome. I know he obviously was out one game with illness, but 27 minutes, 28 minutes. I mean, how indicative is that of his conditioning level, and how much that's improved, and how much just he's in the flow of the game and you feel more comfortable giving him long runs?
Jerome's unique with his minutes because he has to come out quite a bit. Sometimes it's fatigue, sometimes it's more of soreness that he just naturally has, has to deal with, with his situation, with his leg injury. Sometimes he'll come out of the game and say, I need one. So he's not a guy that stays out there a ton of minutes and you're worried about him. And usually, Jerome's going to give you a look like, hey, I need a break right now. I'm tired or whatever. But his conditioning levels went up and his game minutes have went up because he's been able to handle them for longer stretches. He looks the part. He looks like a guy that we saw a few years ago in terms of what he can be. He's not anywhere near where he needs to be. He's not anywhere near where he's going to be. But I think you just see a natural progression of a freshman. He's played 22 games in college. He's found his way through October, November. You get through December and you start to head into conference play and you start to learn a lot about your team and your guys. And he stayed with that very consistent approach. He loves the game. He shows up to practice every day ready to go. He's not afraid. He will compete. He battles. But more importantly, he loves the game. And he loves basketball. He can play all day long. He's the guy when practice is over, you're trying to get off the floor and come to the film room because he still wants to shoot a little bit more or whatever. But I'm proud of Jerome. You know, he's had a very difficult situation. All players go through their own ups and downs. You know, his has been a long road back. And as I said the other day, you know, to our staff, you know, if he just keeps improving every day, hopefully he gives us enough of these minutes that we're getting more consistent play off the bench or whatever it may be. But we're confident that he's out there playing pretty hard right now. I think he knows what to do. You can see he's got his legs under him a little bit offensively for the first time, where he's confident in being able to take some shots. He got to the basket a few times in our last game. He's got to get better rebounding. That's the one thing. Just coming off our last few games, as he's played more minutes, our rebounding's really suffered, and not just because of him, but he can add to the help of the cause, so to speak, in terms of being able to rebound for his position on both ends. So, but he's playing more minutes. He's earned them. He's done it the old-fashioned way, and he's kept them by being able to get on the floor and be effective for us at times. So I'm hopeful that, you know, as we keep going here, he continues to give us good things.
Coach, with Purdue coming off the game on 19 threes, how much do you just kind of account for the perimeter and get out of them early so that there's not maybe a carryover from what they did on Wednesday?
Yeah, hopefully they don't start going 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. But each game is different. You know, Purdue, to me, is a team that can really attack us inside. You know, they got great big play. They got great ability to get it inside a lot of different ways. They've always been great at it, and I think they can really hammer us inside. So that's step one. Obviously, they made a lot of threes the other day, but when you look at how they got them early in the game, it came off of fan-it three-point shots off offensive rebounds. It came off of some broken plays, some transition. You know, they made a ton of shots early off a great effort on the boards, and I think that's the thing that probably goes maybe the most underrated when you start talking about Purdue is how good they are on the boards right now. They're killing teams on the offensive glass, and they're generating three-point shots for Stefanovic, Boudreau, and Wheeler hit one the other day. I mean, you start to look, they have guys that can shoot the ball over the course of their career. So, you know, to me, they're a dangerous team. Like I said, if they start to shoot the ball, you know, with a little bit more consistently with some guys that are good players, you know, they'll get even better. But you have to start and stop the game with Purdue inside and on the glass. You got to answer both bells. If you can't answer those two bells, you're in trouble.
Coach, we all know about matchups have been so important this year and how difficult it's been playing in this conference. Are there any matchups that you see that possibly of taking advantage of? And are there any things that your team has to do specifically to be successful in this game?
I think one's rebounding. You know, I mean, the game is going to come down in February in our league in general, who's rebounding the ball effectively home and away. We didn't effectively rebound the ball in our last two games on the road, and we got crushed. We effectively rebound the ball on both ends of the floor. You know, we have a chance to be a pretty good team. So to me, right now, it starts with rebounding. Defensively, interior, being able to play smart defense, be able to play hard without fouling, you know, as a team is good. But to me, in this game, the glass and then our ability, are we going to be able to run offense and not turn the ball over? You know, can we be able to get, you know, offense where the ball moves and our players move and we share the ball at times when you've seen it? We're going to have to deal with post traps all game long. Can our guys handle the post trap? Are we going to turn it over? And are you going to be able to make some big plays? Players step up in these games now. This is a big boy game, and you got to step up and make some shots. But it's the defensive glass that concerns me the most, and it's the ability to defend their inside guys, the way they get them inside. Their perimeter guys are all, you know, good players and they can shoot, but you deal with good guards every game. You don't deal with the type of inside attack that they have and the way that they get the ball inside so easily all the time. They're good at it. For us, our guards are going to have to play. You know, they really are. I mean, they're not going to allow us to throw the ball inside and just play. Teams aren't doing that right now. They're not allowing us to get easy baskets, you know, in transition. So, you know, what ends up happening is, can you run good offense and can your perimeter players make some open ones? Can they make some plays for others? So, you know, I look at our guards' assist to turnover ratio. I'm going to look at our guards' ability to make some open shots and score the ball. It's going to be huge. But it's going to come down in this game, and really every game from this point forward is can you rebound in the Big Ten?
It's basically big boy ball inside in the Big Ten most every night. Is it a little accentuated when you play Purdue with the way they're constructed?
Yes. I think Matt's done a great job with his team of transforming them a few times during the year and trying different lineups. To me, they're really effective right now with Travion Williams, who goes in there, and then they have Harms, and then they'll bring in Wheeler. So they have a nice 4-man rotation in there. If they need to go small, they'll actually even put no Joe Easton in there, who's as physical as any player in our league. But they got a great thing going on with their front court players in terms of being able to play through them, being able to use them for action creators with the way that they run offense. But they do a great job of getting them the ball in the spots that they can go to work. And to me, you combine that with their offensive rebounding. They're getting the most out of those guys right now, offensively. And if you watch them play, I think they have the most impressive wins in our league. Not that every team doesn't have a signature win at home or whatever, but if you look at the impressive games and you say, like, who in the Big Ten had a night where, man, that team, boy, were they good. They've had about 4 or 5 of them. When you look at the Michigan State game at home, the Iowa game at home, Wisconsin at home, you start to look at some of those games and how they played in those games. I mean, they have absolutely throttled people. Mackey's one thing, and confidence levels at home another, but actually winning a game in that form or fashion has been impressive. So to me, Purdue's have some of the most, if not the most impressive wins in how they've played on that given night in the league. And to me, they're playing really good ball right now.
Last question.
How's Race doing, and without him against a team with the size of Purdue, who has to step up?
Race is doing better. I don't know how many weeks it is now, but he's been moved into some non-contact stuff early in the week. He's been moved into some more half-court stuff in the week. If all goes well today and tomorrow, maybe he'll have a chance to play. I don't know how effective he'll be. But Race has been a big part of our team, and if you look at per minute played of any player on our team, per minute he rebounds the ball better than anybody on our team. And then when you add in that he's smart and he knows his role, offensively, although maybe not huge scoring numbers, but creates action for people, screens, offensive rebounds, good pass. Defensively, he obviously gives us, in my opinion, our most fundamental low post defender on and off the ball. The plays that he makes off the ball with the charge circle, the wall ups, the block shots, the defensive rebounding that he brings in, he's our most fundamental big in terms of being able to be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, and have some discipline in doing it. So him not playing in the last 3 games has really hurt our rotation. It's also really hurt some of the winning plays that he makes. And every team goes through guys not being available. It's been our time here recently with Race. It was an unfortunate fall he had in the Michigan State game, but he brought a lot to the table that night, and he brings a lot of good things. So we need to get him back. He helps our rotation more than anything. He gives us the ability to bring a guy in we have confidence in that can play hard. That's what you need. And right now you need guys coming in there playing hard and confident, doing their job. So proud of Race. Obviously he's fought his way back to practice, so hopefully he can find his way back into that rhythm that he had going into the game. Because at Nebraska he made plays for us. Michigan State at home he's made plays for us here recently. And you need everybody you can at this time of year doing and chipping in a little bit, and that's what Race embodies. So hopefully today goes a little bit better for him than yesterday did, and we can kind of get him kind of moving back in the right direction.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Yep, thank you.